we only carded people if they look like they were under, like, 15.
You had a job there?
Yeah, I worked in a pub.
You did?
I did. I served food and drinks.
Is that when you worked at Applebee's?
No. That was after I came back to Sacramento.
Wait, you worked at a pub.
I worked at a pub.
What is the legal drinking age in England, or what was it at the time?
16, I think.
I think it's 16.
16.
Yeah.
And you would card people if they were 15.
Yeah, we were like really, like our bosses did not care or enforce it. So we were really loose about it. So if you looked like you were like 14, 15, then we would card you.
You could tell the difference between a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old.
No, I can't. But so I would card people who looked older, I feel like.
Yeah.
I was a little more strict. And my coworkers like didn't card anybody.
Yeah.
They were really loose about it.
Did you ever...
You don't care?
Did someone ever, like, Lennox's age or Luna's age walk in?
No. But some people did look like they were 14 or 15.
What about fake IDs? Could you spot them? Did you care?
No. I don't remember or recall that.
I had a fake ID when I was 20. And my coworker gave it to me. It was his cousin's old ID. And his name was Isaac Torres. So it was a Hispanic guy from Tulare, California. And I used it, and it worked. So I was some overweight. Okay, I was an overweight Asian man pretending to be an overweight Hispanic man from Tulare, California. And it worked multiple times. And I was glad that it...
Did you think that the picture at all resembled you?
We both had dark hair, and we were both overweight, as I mentioned. And why do you keep bringing it up, honey?
I want to see.
Yeah.
Where is this fake ID?
I wish I still had it, but it led to many good times in bars in the North Beach area of San Francisco, California.
And oop.
Let me grab mine.
Good luck.
What you're about to do?
What'd I do?
Okay, I'm going to my robot. And oop.
So I was listening to Mix 96, which is a radio station in Sacramento, California. And they play 8 Maroon 5 songs per hour, which you can't argue with, honey.
Yeah.
Sugar.
They got some good jams.
I was so blind I could not recognize This Love.
Yes.
The one that played on Laguna Beach. She will be loved. Anyway,
yes.
They got mad hits for over a decade. And if you want to play 8 Maroon 5 songs an hour, I can't hate on you for that. But I was listening to Mix 96, and they were playing Love Shack by the B-52s. And the part that comes on when the redhead girl says, "Love Shack, baby," and then Fred, whatever his last name is, he comes on and goes, "Love Shack, baby." But I thought, they're saying baby, and it's Y, but it's E, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about the word baby, which comes up often in pop music. And majority of the time, it's not pronounced with the Y or the E. It's pronounced with the EH. So, I have a few examples.
Baby.
Baby.
Oh, yeah.
Baby. So, Justin Bieber, baby. Baby. He's not saying baby, baby, baby. Oh, he's saying baby, baby.
Yeah,
so it's with the
yes.
EH. TLC, the R&B classic. Baby, baby, baby. With the EH. They're not saying baby, baby, baby. Mariah Carey, ever hear of her? Always be my baby. Do. Oh.
That's so true.
She's not saying, "Always be my baby."
It's always baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
The Ronettes, be my little baby.
Wow.
It's always EH. It's never with the Y or the EE.
Mm-hmm.
Because English is weird. Britney Spears and Hit Me Baby. Hit me, baby, one more time. She does the E.
Hit
Or
me,
why?
baby, one more time.
But then also in the same exact song, she does, oh, baby, baby.
Oh.
So she mixes it up with from the EH to the Y.
Good for her.
Yeah. Well, she's an icon. She's a queen. But then I thought, one more example. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Baby got back. So he goes with the YYY or EEE.
Okay.
Baby got back. He doesn't say baby got back.
But he's not really singing that. He's like saying it.
He is It is rap. It is the rap music.
It's the rap vernacular.
I tried. I used to own Dr. Dre 2001. It's on compact disc, honey. Do you remember CDs?
I do.
Physical media.
Shoot, I even remember cassette tapes, honey.
Wow. Do you remember vinyl LPs?
Yes.
And I used to own Dr. Dre 2001 on compact disc, but for whatever reason, I can't find it now. And ever since his Super Bowl halftime show, I really want to listen to it. So I can't find it. And I have one of those CD,
compact disc turner.
the jacket, the case.
Oh, the cases.
Case
oh,
Logic.
yeah.
Case Logic.
Case
I have
Logic.
a
Sure.
Case Logic it's the Mac Daddy one, the 96 compact discs you can hold in there. And I have it, but I don't have Dr. Dre 2000. I don't know what happened to the CD.
Oh, so you lost the CD itself.
Yeah.
Where do you keep this that CD case thing?
In my trunk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I go through it every once in a while. But do you remember CD changers? The
Oh
6
my gosh,
CD changer?
yes.
Yeah.
The car I had before this one had a 6 CD changer.
Yeah.
I loved that thing.
Was it in the front? It was in the back, right?
No,
In the trunk?
mine was in the front.
Oh.
You could actually in the front.
Well,
it was a Cadillac, okay.
Look who's really fancy over here. My mom she has a Mercedes, and when she first bought it a decade ago, there was a 6 CD changer in the back. So I put in Beach Boys, a Beach Boys CD.
Nice.
I can't remember which one. It doesn't matter. In slot number 1. I was like, "Yeah, Mom, you got 6 CDs here. You can put in all your CDs and you can change them." And then, years later, I went back to that CD changer. There was the Beach Boys CD in slot number 1, and the other 5 still sat empty.
Well, maybe that's her favorite album ever.
Remained empty.
She didn't need anything else.
Yes. So Dr. Dre did the Super Bowl, and it took me back to when I was a young man in my 20s. So I was like, I really want to listen to Dr. Dre 2001, the CD. He didn't play anything from the original Chronic album, which, okay, that's fine. Whatever you want. You had to make time for Dr. Dre. 50 Cent and Mary J. Blige or whatever. And Kendrick Lamar. Worst part of the halftime show ever, am I right? But so I'm like, well, I want to buy that CD because I want to give those royalties to Dr. Dre. Because the man's in need, honey.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He needs your $13 or whatever.
Well, he needs his
$10.
share of the $13 price, which was like 16 cents. But I was like, I want to buy the CD. I want to have the compact disc that I slide in. And I went on Amazon today, and the cheapest CD of that is $9.63.
Oh.
Like, shouldn't it be $2? $3 tops?
I remember like a year ago, you and I went shopping. Or no, we were just walking around Doco, downtown Commons in Sacramento, and we went into a shop, and they had a ton of tape cassettes.
Yeah.
And it was like Britney's second album.
Yeah.
And I posted a picture on Instagram, and I was like, why are they selling cassette tapes? And somebody with a teenage daughter responded, and they were like, oh, the teenagers nowadays are actually into like cassette tapes.
And vinyl.
Yeah, they've made a big return.
You know what? I don't believe that. You know what?
You don't?
Sure. But another thing, that store was Urban Outfitters, a clothing store. Hello.
Well, clothing, that was like an eighth of their products.
Right.
They had dishware.
Yeah.
They had home decor.
They
They
sell
had
the-
cassettes. They had clothing. They
They-
had.
They sell the lifestyle, the fast fashion lifestyle. So you can look poor. You can look poor paying $38 for a t-shirt. But I really want this compact disc. But I thought it should be $2, $3.
Well, you should have bought it in like 2009. I guess.
I did. Well, I bought it in 2001 when it came out.
I guess that the prices have gone up because they're like
Yeah.
retro. They're like back in fashion now.
If I had the receipt from Sam Goody or Good Guys or Circuit City or Warehouse, and I presented it to Dr. Dre, and I said, "I bought this. Can you give me another compact disc?" What he should give it. He should be like, okay,
What are the statutes of limitations on those
yeah.
receipts?
But I think okay. Well, so it's nearly $10 for a compact disc, physical media. But I thought some people, honey, who, not me.
Me?
I thought some people might go onto nefarious parts of the internet
Ah.
and get this work of art, 2001, which was sonically better than the original Chronic, because Dr. Dre had a few years to master his craft as a producer, and it's a better album, whatever that means. It's a better, more masterful sequencing. Anyways, so it's available on the internet, and so shouldn't it be less than $10? Because back in the day, compact discs, if you bought them full price, they were like $17.
Yeah,
approximately.
that sounds
But
right.
oftentimes, like the hits were on sale for $10.
You could buy the singles.
Yeah, you can buy the
Right.
singles for like $3 or $4, but you could buy albums for $10, $11, $12,
Hmm.
give or take. So shouldn't, with this work of art on the internet available for free to download within a few seconds, let's be honest, shouldn't the compact disc be cheaper than $9.63? Is my point.
Why don't you just download it for free?
Shh, that's against the law, honey.
Oh, okay.
That's wrong.
Oh, pardon me.
Dr. Dre needs that 16 cents. He got divorced.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, Dr. Dre.
He's got to pay the ex-Mrs. Dr. Dre. But yeah, I think I'll buy it.
What?
Just to have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I stopped buying compact discs,
Yeah.
aka CDs,
Yeah.
is because you and I started dating in
What?
2018.
Yes, our torrid love affair.
And
it
you,
was actually
like-
2017.
Oh, okay, technically December 2017.
Yes.
Exclusively in 2018, technically.
Mm.
But I was still buying CDs at that time.
Yeah.
And you, like, sort of lovingly mocked me.
Yeah. So
So I kind of filtered that out
yeah.
of me. Like, I stopped buying CDs because I was like, Vince says I shouldn't.
Is the last CD you bought the Greatest Showman
Yes!
soundtrack?
That was spring of 2018. I bought the Greatest Showman soundtrack
Yeah.
on CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you've taught me other ways of obtaining music that weren't
Yes.
on digital, or no, that weren't physical media.
Yes.
They were digital media.
Yes. All legal, honey.
All on the up and up.
We subscribe to Spotify and iTunes and Pandora and SoundCloud.
Are you telling me that we need to go back to buying CDs?
I
Because
want
I'm
the-
down. I'm so down.
I want this one CD. And I could, well, people who don't have my morals or values could get this this compact disc, the MP3s, in a few seconds and mimic a CD, but I like just loading the CD player into the CD into the CD player. It's like slow and methodical. It's very cool. It's very futuristic.
It's very sensual.
Yeah, it's very sensual. And I want the compact disc.
I love the compact disc experience.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I remember. It was 2003.
Mm-hmm.
I was half-assedly attending college at American River College.
Yes.
in
Arc.
Sacramento, California. And I was 19 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And you got you would go to like the CD store on Madison Avenue.
Yeah.
And they would install like some sort of CD player in your car.
Yeah.
Some sort of like audio thing.
Yeah.
And
Car stereo.
You'd have the little device that you could snap it on. And then you could take it off.
Yeah, the
so you didn't get robbed.
Face. Yeah. Yeah.
So
and you would carry that around the mall like, oh, no one's going to steal my car stereo.
Yeah. So you'd pop it on and then at night when you were driving, it was like multicolored and neon. It was like super cool. You felt like you were a DJ or something.
Yeah.
Man, those are the days.
I'm so old that I remember, never mind the faceplate, you pulled out your entire freaking stereo. And I remember specifically my friend Alex Lord, we would go to the mall, North County Fair in San Diego, California, Tony suburbs, and he would yank out his entire stereo, and it was just a button. You would push a button, it would pop out.
The whole like metal box device thing?
Yeah, you push a button and like 3 inches would pop out, and then there would be a handle, and you could just yank it out. And we walked around the mall, and he would carry around this freaking car stereo in his hand. And it was like, but it was cool. It was like a sign of wealth or something. It was like, I have a Blaukpunkt Pioneer, Kenwood, whatever. That's so valuable that I got to carry it around. Mm-hmm. It's like the old school cell phones, like Zach Morris in Saved by the Bell when he was talking to a brick.
The giant brick that you would have to carry around. You don't want anyone to steal that.
Yeah. And now they're all about the catalytic converters. Anyways. So baby, one more time, baby.
Baby, baby. It is interesting that baby is hardly ever sung or said.
It's the quote-unquote correct pronunciation.
Baby.
But in music, it turns into EH.
Yeah.
Baby.
I guess that's because when you're singing, you're like carrying the last syllable of a word, baby.
Yeah.
You're not like sharply ending it baby, I guess.
Well,
there's some explanation.
The redheaded girl in B-52 said, Love Shack baby.
She sure did.
She carried it.
Well, this is a mystery.
And oop.
What's next?
I'm sorry, did I derail you?
Huh? No.
Okay. I got my 5 foods ready.
I was thinking I need to learn transitions. Like Marshall Phillips used to say, switching gears.
So you just need like a go-to phrase.
Yeah.
A segue. What we got? We have and I oop.
Yeah. Well, that's what.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And oop.
Love Shack baby.
I love Shack baby.
Maybe that should be our next karaoke song.
And oop.
Sign says, whoa, stay away, fools. The club rules at the Love Shack. Well, they sit way down. Glitter on the mattress.
Wow.
Glitter on the front porch. Did we just... You want a top 5 foods to eat before you die?
I want you to incorporate every word we've mentioned thus far. Top 5 favorite foods that I would eat before I die if I was on death row that I think everyone in their life should experience.
Of all time ever in history.
Exactly.
Yes. So what are your top 5 foods that you would eat before you die if you were on death row of all time ever in history, honey?
This was a tough list to compile.
It was.
And I gave it great thought and care and consideration.
Yeah.
Are we going to go back and forth? Or
Yes.
Okay. So I will start. These are in no particular order.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go with number 1.
Yes.
Okay. Number 1 for me is some gosh darn good sushi.
Okay.
If you've never had good sushi in your life, everyone should experience this.
Our neighbors bringing back their garbage can.
If you hear that rumble in the background.
Would you consider Suki sushi good, Raku
Yes.
sushi good? Oh,
Yes.
really?
I think because we live within 2 hours of an ocean,
Yeah.
that we experience good sushi. I think if you lived in Minnesota, they're close to a lake, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I think if you lived
But not an
let's say you live
Nebraska.
in Nebraska,
Yeah.
Wyoming,
Yeah.
and you're far away from an ocean or like a large body of water with fish,
Yeah.
you're probably not experiencing like good sushi. But I think anywhere here in California we are.
What about the sushi place on 15th? Mikuni, which is a famous Sacramento institution. They have 3 outlets and restaurants in Sacramento, and Judy Farah won't stop talking about them.
Neither will my friend Victoria Hartsock.
Okay. But would you put their stuff above Suki or Raku?
You know what? I haven't had it in about 12 years.
Yeah.
Is the last time I had Mikuni sushi. I've had really expensive sushi here in Sacramento, and then I've had like the low end. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking grocery store. I'm not talking like
Walmart.
I'm not talking
gas station.
No, like Nugget or Safeway sushi, which is decent, and I do buy occasionally. But like any restaurant here, it's all the same.
Ah.
Like Mikuni is just as good as Suki sushi.
Ah,
it's just
really?
as good as Raku.
Ah.
Yeah, in my humble opinion.
Ah, well, that's what matters here. Wow. Okay. When we get sushi, or when you get sushi, or when we're not supposed to mention Luna, but when Luna gets, or we get sushi for Luna, whatever. I dig it. Like I can eat a roll or two, but I'm not like craving it like I am Peace Cuisine or Chuyita, Chinese or Mexican. It's good, but I don't desire it. But you're saying the expensive stuff is very similar to just the regular stuff?
I think it's on par.
But it's all better than Safeway or gas station sushi.
Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah, the prepackaged stuff that you can get in grocery stores, that's the low end. But all of the restaurants I've experienced here in Sacramento, Roseville, West Sacramento, even the Bay Area, they've all been like pretty comparable. And they've all been good. Very good. And I think that everybody needs to experience that good quality of sushi before they die.
What about the Mikuni ambiance? Is it better than Raku? Oh, really?
Whatever.
I've never been to Mikuni. I've had a few rolls of Suki and Raku and Oishi, and it's fine.
Mikuni's ambiance it's like a step above Raku and Suki sushi here in West Sacramento, but not much.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
It's more like I'm at Mikuni, and maybe I'll see a Sacramento King, or something. Maybe Chris Webber will be dining in the corner.
I doubt it. No, I don't think they will. I think those places they're overrated, to be honest. I think Mikuni is overrated. I'm going to say it.
Maybe Judy Farah will be getting takeout from the Orangevale location.
Okay.
I don't know. My number 1 or number 5, because we're supposed to go up to number 1, honey.
Yeah, I think that's what we're doing.
haven't you learned from Marshall Phillips how to do a listicle? My number 5 or number 1 is shrimp spring rolls, which is a Vietnamese selection.
Slow clap. I'm sorry. I was slow clapping.
Golf clap. So shrimp spring rolls is a Vietnamese dish, appetizer, but for me it signifies family, and it signifies my mom, and I think about going to Vietnamese family gatherings, and there's a ton of shrimp spring rolls ready to go, but very important, or important as some people pronounce it, very important is the Vietnamese fish sauce to dip it in.
Yeah.
Because the shrimp spring roll in and of itself is just it's like a salad wrapped up nice and tight in a little package, but dipping it into the Vietnamese fish sauce, it sends it to the moon. We did make shrimp spring rolls and fish sauce.
Yeah, and technically we were successful.
Yes, they appeared on a plate, but it was very labor intensive for us.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had like I obviously knew that the people who work at these Vietnamese restaurants and throw these rolls together, I knew they were working hard.
Yeah. But
I have a whole new appreciation now.
Yeah.
For the artistry.
Yes.
And the technique involved in making these rolls come together.
Yeah. I'm sure like my mom, I know my mom and my aunt have done it for 40, 50 years, and they have it down pat like an assembly line, but we came into it. I like the rice noodles. I was like, I'll just throw them in the hot water like pasta, and then we did that, and it was clumpy, and you actually looked at the directions, so we ended up having to like have a double boiler, and then you got to pour cold water on it while on. Like with the pan upside down or with the colander upside. It was a lot. It was
a lot of steps, and you had to. We just thought we could like willy-nilly wing it, but nope. You have to actually follow like step by step the directions.
It's very complex and difficult, and you think about it. There isn't like cooking involved because we bought the pre-cooked shrimp just to make it easier.
Yeah,
it's more like assembling. But the noodles really threw us off. And then the rice paper, you got to soak.
Oh, my goodness.
And it becomes super delicate.
It is. Yeah, you have to be very careful how you handle it. It tears easily. Yeah. It sticks to your hands and the plate easily.
And you had the patience to put it together. And I did not have the patience to assemble it. So yours looked somewhat coherent. Mine looked like they had been ridden hard and put away wet, if you will. But you know what? The Vietnamese fish sauce was fabulous.
You put this together, all the ingredients, and it was so good.
Yeah,
it was really good, honey.
Yeah.
What is involved in that?
Well, my mom said it's 1, 1, 1, 1. So all parts 1. So 1 cup of water, 1 cup of fish sauce, 1 cup of vinegar. I used We used white wine vinegar. And 1 cup.
Hot chili flakes?
You throw those in.
We put those in, yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Sugar?
Fish sauce. Did I say that?
Oh, fish sauce, sugar, water.
Sugar.
Yeah. Anyway, you did. It was really good.
This is not the Food Network, people. Yeah. 1 cup sugar, 1 cup fish sauce, 1 cup vinegar, and 1 cup water.
You know what?
And put it all together, and then throw in some chili flakes just for a little heat. And visually, it's fun. It's a good time.
I'm totally agreeing with you. Like, you need to have some spring rolls, Vietnamese. Yeah. Particularly Vietnamese spring rolls.
Yeah.
Shrimp.
Yeah. And the other thing is that it's hard not to eat them while you're assembling them. So like,
we were like, this one's a little messy. I'm going to eat it right now.
I know. So you're like assembling all this, but you're like eating 75% of them while you're assembling them. But it was a good time.
It was a fun time for sure.
I don't think we'll ever do it again.
We will never do it again. That was a lot of work.
You know what? We need to like do a lesson or watch my mom or my aunt.
That's what you were supposed to do when you went to visit her in San Diego.
I know. Well, I did, but then I didn't take it all in, or I didn't film a 45-minute long video of all the steps, and I didn't write down the instructions. But shrimp spring rolls with Vietnamese fish sauce, fabulous, honey.
Delicious.
Your number 4 or 2?
My number 4 is a grilled cheese sandwich. In particular, the one that I personally make.
Okay. You made one last weekend.
Yeah.
I had a bite, and the toast was good, like the toast, the butter, the bread, whatever. But the the cheese was severely lacking.
I'm going to stop you right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
But it was the cheap cheese.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
I make this about 3 times a year.
Yeah.
I like thick white bread.
Mm-hmm.
I like sliced cheddar cheese.
What bread did you use last weekend? Was it the 40 calorie
No.
per
Oh,
slice?
heck no.
Okay.
When we went to Walmart last weekend, because I had in mind I wanted to make grilled cheese, I bought the white sliced bread that was like the normal.
Okay.
It's not low calorie. It's just, it's
Regular.
very thick. It was like, I don't know the brand, but
Mm.
it's the kind that's like more of a rectangle shape as opposed to a square shaped bread. So it's a
Mhm.
little bit larger.
Yeah.
I bought sliced cheddar, and it was the Walmart brand, the Great Value, which you decree.
It
was horrible.
Not good.
Yeah. You know what? I bet like Tillamook would have been better quality,
Yeah.
but I was just happy with like a sliced cheddar
Yeah.
because it has to be like a flat
Cover.
slice.
Yeah.
As opposed to
Coverage.
like, shredded. And then I bought some Roma tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I make a grilled cheese, and this is like my favorite food in the world.
Yeah.
The way that I make it, I put butter in a pan.
Mm-hmm.
I put 2 thick white bread slices down.
Yeah.
I cover them 2 slices of sliced cheddar on each piece of bread.
Yeah.
And then like 1 Roma tomato sliced up. And then I separate it on each slice of bread. Salt and pepper. And then I put a lid on it. So they're open faced.
Ah.
And I put the lid on so they can get melty and hot.
You're like the squeeze in.
So I let it get melty and hot. And then once like the cheese melts and I check the bottom and they're pretty toasty, I put them together
Mm-hmm.
in a sandwich shape.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And you like it. You like tomato soup also.
I love tomato soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love dipping a grilled cheese in a tomato soup.
Yeah.
But just the grilled cheese itself is the best part.
Ketchup on a grilled cheese?
No.
Yay or nay? Agree.
Who
Mary Grace Canetti. Okay.
She does that?
Yeah.
No way. No.
She was like chatting up about and this was in 1994, okay? But she was talking up, going on and on about ketchup on a grilled cheese. She's like, I'm gonna make it and you're gonna like it. I'm gonna make it. It's so good. And then she finally made it at Janelle Pentecostas' house, and I was like, okay, it's okay, I guess. Mary Grace.
Hell no. I'm sorry.
And now she goes to BTS concerts all the time. The tomatoes, definitely. Tomatoes on anything.
But
Tomatoes on nearly everything.
you got to put salt and pepper because
Yeah.
that brings a tomato from like a 4 to a 10.
Yeah,
The salt and pepper on a tomato slice
absolutely.
absolutely enhances it.
The Great Value cheese, I was not a fan of. That's where it missed for me. And like you said, Tillamook, anything other than Great
I
Value
guess.
cheese.
But you know what? we never buy sliced cheese.
Yeah.
And that's like, you have to have sliced cheese on
Oh,
a
yeah.
grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh yeah.
I guess like a block of cheddar, any brand would have been good as well. Because I think like a freshly sliced
Mm-hmm.
block is better than pre-sliced,
Velveeta.
pre
What about
anything.
government cheddar?
Okay, so you like the sliced American cheese,
Yeah, the Kraft singles.
like the Kraft.
Yeah.
I'll eat it happily,
Yeah.
but no, that is a completely different level from the cheddar slices. That's
Yeah.
a totally different experience.
So Kraft versus Great Value, which one is higher?
Great value,
Really?
because the Kraft is American.
Yeah.
It's American versus cheddar.
Okay.
That's what you're comparing.
Great Value.
And it doesn't matter the brand.
Mm.
Like, American is always lower and terrible compared to cheddar.
Well, I didn't like the Great Value cheddar, and I said Kraft singles, but I haven't had a Kraft single in like 30 years, so I was just going off of what the media tells me the American grilled
It's
cheese
pure
sandwich
nostalgia.
should embody. Exactly.
No, American cheese, I mean, you know, it does have its place. It's like a nostalgic cheddar cheese sandwich
Yeah.
from your youth.
Yeah.
But it's really not good if you're like
Okay.
judging it from an adult perspective.
Let's get some tomorrow at Walmart,
Okay.
and we'll see how it measures up. Taste test, everyone.
What is your next food, honey?
Vermicelli with pork, another Vietnamese dish.
Oh my gosh.
So this is what I order 99% of the time when we go to a Vietnamese restaurant.
I do as well.
Yeah.
I always get the same thing you get, which
Sometimes
is
you
this
get it-
dish.
Sometimes you get it with chicken, and I'm like, why are you getting it
No,
with chicken?
no, I don't anymore, honey. I haven't
Yeah,
done
you
that
used
for
to,
like
used
3
to.
years, okay?
Yeah, used to.
Yeah, I get it with pork now.
Yeah. Because, well, pork is better. There's more fat, there's more flavor.
More fat, more flavor. Exactly.
And you used to get vermicelli with chicken. I'd be like, what are you doing?
I was trying to be healthy, okay?
I know you were trying to be, but we're out at whatever Vietnamese ABC pho in Citrus Heights in Orangevale or Folsom.
Rest in peace.
Rest in power. But the vermicelli with pork, well, again, it just reminds me of food and family, and I feel like I'm at home when I eat this. And if you order, sometimes they throw you can get it with the egg roll, like chopped up in there.
Yes.
That's a good time. So there's got the fried crunchy egg roll. They got grilled pork, and I think they throw 5 spice on it, or allspice. I don't know. And then there's some salad going on. There's some lettuce, and there's some carrots, and I want to say jicama, cilantro.
Ah,
and
yeah, jicama, yes.
And which is they don't do the what's the Korean thing? The Korean vegetables. Hang on. I'm not angry. I'm not typing angrily. I'm just doing this because this is good radio.
And oop.
Kimchi is what I was talking about. It's not kimchi, but it's pickled. What I know about kimchi is I had a Korean roommate when I was a young man, and his mom would give him kimchi to bring home, and he would bring it home and put it in our fridge, and it would stink up the entire house. But I love that you got the nudes, you got the pork, you got the salad element, you got the pickled vegetables, egg roll if you want, and it's all separate, but it's all so if you want a piece of pork with some rice nudes, you can have that, and then the next bite you can have a little salad, drizzle fish sauce all over it.
It's so good.
It's a good time.
That bowl is one of my favorite foods, definitely.
Yeah. Big time.
Okay, my third is everyone needs to, in their life, experience some authentic Mexican cuisine.
See.
And by this, I'm not talking about Gym Boys, which is delicious. I'm not talking Taco Bell, which is delicious. Sure. I'm not talking Del Taco.
Okay.
I'm talking about your authentic local Mexican restaurant or Mexican, what's it called? Like
taqueria.
A little taqueria.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, similar to the sushi, we live in California. Yes. And I know like everyone in Southern California boasts about how good their Mexican is.
Yes.
But I think we up here in Sacramento, I think we have just as good.
They're both good, yeah.
Just as good Mexican food.
Yeah.
Once again, you might not get this in Wyoming or Iowa.
Southern California is geographically closer to Mexico, but yes.
Truly. That is a point. But I feel like...
That is a point. Thank you.
I feel like anywhere in California or like the Southern American states, you're close enough.
Arizona, New Mexico, they got good Mexican food.
And like here in Sacramento, we have so many Asian people, which is why we have really good Asian food, like we were just talking about. We have really
sushi
good
and Vietnamese.
We have a big Mexican populations. We have really good Mexican food. We're close to the coast. We get really good like fish.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so here in Sacramento, you can find really authentic, delicious Mexican food. I'm talking, okay, this isn't a particular item, but I'm talking my 3 top Mexican authentic meals: chorizo, pozole, which is a soup, and birria, which is like a delicious taco.
You've been on the birria kick.
Oh my
lately,
god, yeah.
Whenever we go.
Yeah, that's like a taco with like shredded meat that you dip into like a sort of au jus.
Consomme sauce.
A consomme sauce, exactly. Yeah. So that is my number 3. Like, get yourself some authentic Mexican taqueria food.
Yeah. My number 3 also is Mexicano, honey. We didn't plan this, folks. But it's the chorizo breakfast burrito. But not all taquerias are created equal. There's some chorizos that are just very dry, very bland. But we talk about Mexicano food. My favorite is Cocina Doña Chuyita. Chuyita for short, which is just down the street from us. I love their chorizo. And going back to condiments and sauces, they have the nectar, which is sour cream and jalapenos and carrots and some sort of amalgamation.
Blended together in some sort of cream sauce.
We don't know the measurements, but it's all flipping good. And and just personally, the chorizo breakfast burrito I order without potatoes because in most taquerias, potatoes are they're just cheap. They're an afterthought. They're crap, and it's empty carbs. It's not providing much, so I order it without potatoes, and I also order it without cheese because again, most taquerias cheese is cheap and greasy and waxy and adds nothing. So
if you want a chorizo burrito,
Yeah.
you really want the chorizo to shine.
yeah,
You want that neon orange nectar to shine.
yes,
So all you want in your tortilla is really chorizo
yeah,
and egg.
huevo.
And that's you're golden.
Yeah.
That's all you need to order.
Yeah.
And then you can throw whatever sauce on that you want.
Yeah.
But if you're ordering, just get those two things.
Yep.
That's my pro tip.
Yep, you're cutting carbs, you're cutting calories, and you're getting the less barriers to the chorizo, the better. So no cheese, no papas, potatoes, chorizo, huevo, and there's a tortilla to hold it all together. But that's my number 3 top 5 foods to eat before you die. The best ever of all time in history. Favorite spelled with a U. What's your number 2 or 4, honey?
Okay. So we have 2 items left.
Yes.
Honey, you and I.
Yes.
These are the top 2 items that I came up with. And these are not my top 2 favorite foods in the world.
Okay.
But these are 2 items.
Why not?
Well, they're 2 items that I feel like are common enough that anybody can get them. But they're sort of rare. Like, these aren't 2 items that everyone in their life has tasted.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to my number 2 item, which is king crab.
Okay.
Have you ever had king crab,
At
honey?
the Red Lobster?
No. I feel like Red Lobster serves, like, snow crab. I don't feel like they're giving you, like, the elite, the top of the top king crab.
All crabs are created equal.
No, they're not.
I've never had king crab. I've had crab. I've had lobster. Does that count? That's
No,
close.
lobster is different than crab.
They're all bugs on the ocean floor. Honey!
They're all insects of the ocean.
Exactly. King crab.
Okay, I feel like, king crab is the biggest. Like,
The longest legs.
the longest, the thickest.
Okay.
And I feel like everyone should experience this. It's kind of fancy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of rare.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can get it.
Yeah.
It's available. And I have a memory
Yes.
that's very special. So,
Luna sneezed.
yes. So, one night, me, my ex-husband...
Wait. Hold.
I'm sorry.
Hold. Stop the recording.
Okay.
You used to be married?
I have an ex-husband.
What the hell?
And this story involves my ex-husband, his sister.
Wait. You used to be married? Yes.
So it was the 4 of us.
Okay.
Me, my ex-husband, his sister, and her husband.
Gotcha.
And the 4 of us were at my ex-sister-in-law and brother-in-law's house.
Yes.
And they had bought, I don't know why, but they bought a ton of king crab.
Okay.
And they were like, come over, we're going to have a really fun night. We're going to cook this king crab and we're going to hang out. So my brother-in-law at the time, he cooked all this king crab in a giant like pot and he cooked it with beer. I remember he like tons of beer
What
on the
about
stove.
Old Bay seasoning, honey?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know what he did.
Yeah.
I was just a participant.
Yeah.
So he cooked all this king crab and this beer, and then we had a giant feast spread out on the table.
Did you have newspapers set down or some
No.
kind of table?
I don't remember newspaper. I just remember we each had like a ton of big king crab legs.
Yeah.
We each had like a bowl of melted butter.
Butter.
You
yeah.
gotta have the melted butter.
Yeah.
And it was such a treat.
You went to town. Yeah.
Yeah, so you take the big king crab meat out of the shell, you dip it in the melted butter, and we ate it. We had a great time.
Did you break them with your hands? Did you have like the metal?
Yeah, we had like
crushers or whatever?
like a nutcracker thing.
Ah, yeah.
I've never been able to figure that out, by the way. I've always made a mess of it. But
right.
Yeah, somehow we got the meat out.
There's a lot of mess happening.
You dip it in the butter, and it was like, that is such it's such a treat.
Yeah.
It's a cuisine that everyone should experience before they die.
Did you have any biscuits? Did you have rice? Any carbs?
I'm sure we did, but I can't remember now. Because the king crab was just like the highlight of the night.
Yeah.
And it was the star of the show.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. We all just dove in, and it was such a good time.
Yeah. Like for me, crab and lobster, if I have to work, like I have to get a nutcracker and I have to break things apart and I have to yank and kind of get my teeth in the griddle. It's a lot of work for very little payoff, but it's good.
It's a lot of work. Yeah. And if it's king crab, it's a big payout, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're not at a restaurant, but if you're at home with a few people that you love and trust, and you're in a safe space, they can help you figure out how to get the crab out of the shell, then it's different.
There's no shame. There's butter on your lips, and there's crab legs on the newspaper.
You're all just laughing and having a good time.
Yeah.
But that is a cuisine that is special and it's unique, but again, everyone should experience that.
Do you have desire to do that? Excuse me. Sorry, Liz Fisher. Do you have desire to do that? Sorry, Alan Fisher. Right now, do you want to go buy some king crabs at insert grocery store here and bring them home and boil them up?
I don't want to prepare it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at a guy's house and he took care of all the hard work.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law at the time.
Were they alive? The crabs?
Listen, I know nothing. All I know is that it came together.
Rest in power.
And it was on the table for me to consume.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I may never have it again, but I'm glad I experienced it. It was delicious.
Yeah.
It was fun. And I think everyone should have that experience.
If Red Lobster is doing it, I'm down. We should go.
Okay.
And we can make a mess. And then someone else can clean it up.
Okay.
We can go home.
Yes.
But yeah, I dig lobster and dip it in butter. It's out of sight. But I've never had like the home crab, king crab, crawdad thing. I've never had that. But I'm down for a Red Lobster when they have King Crab December or whatever. Okay. My number 2/4 is Korean barbecue ribs. When I was a young man in college, I went to San Francisco State. My Uncle Ang, who died a year ago, 2 years ago, rest in power, he lived in Fremont, California, which is in the Bay Area. And once every 6 months or so, he'd be like, take the BART, come out here, and we're going to have a grand old time. It was to hang out and see his sons, who are now 20-something, which blows my mind. But so I would hop on the BART, take it out to Fremont. He would pick me up in his red Mazda Miata, honey.
So cool.
Very sporty, very cool. I could barely fit in it. And his wife, who's Japanese, would make these Korean ribs. And it would be a pile of ribs in the center of the table, and we would go to town. And how the Korean rib, I don't know how this differentiates from other ribs or whatever, but there's 3 bones in it, like 3 small bones in this piece of meat. But so she would marinate. It's all about the marinade. And she would serve it up. And we would just eat a huge plate of ribs. And there would be a bunch of these little bones that would pile up on a plate. And I just remember eating like there was no tomorrow, and they're just being a lot of small little bones piled up, and also in this cut of rib or meat or whatever, there was a lot of like muscle fiber or cartilage. I don't know, just a lot of nonsense near the bone that you couldn't consume. So bones, cartilage, but the marinade was so flippin' good, and so I just have memories of my Uncle Ang and his two sons running around, his wife in the kitchen cooking these up for us, and it meant so much to me, and it was really freaking good taste wise. So Korean barbecue ribs, and I know Trader Joe's sells Korean barbecue ribs. Let's get that next time.
Okay, we'll try it. I'm sure it's not the same as your aunt and uncle's, but yeah. I would like to try that. I haven't had any variation of this.
Really?
Yeah, so I am interested. I'm intrigued.
It's really good, and it's all about, well, like you used to live next to Oz, OZ, which is a Korean barbecue.
Yeah, I've never been still.
Me neither.
I know.
And I lived in Rudier. You lived in Rosemont, and I lived in Rudier, which is super close to each other. Our cat has come in from the sun. But next time we go to TJ's, which is in May, right? When you have
in 3 weeks
hair appointment
for my
with
haircut.
Hazy.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Okay.
Let's make the barbecue ribs.
Let's make Uncle Ang proud.
Yes. Yes. Are we at to number 2?
Number 1? My number 1. And once again, this is the first thing that came to mind when you presented this idea to me of a top 5 list of foods we'd eat. Everyone should eat before they die.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite, but it's something I absolutely love. And it's very unique, special. Not everyone has had this, but everybody should. And you can get it right here in Sacramento, California.
Okay.
This is a sandwich called a croquet monsieur.
Okay.
Have you heard of this?
No. Is it like a Monte Cristo?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. It is a Monte Cristo.
Ah.
Or as Tower Cafe in Sacramento, California on Broadway calls it, a Madame Cristo.
They, thou.
This is a sandwich.
Yes. What are the components, my love?
Okay, that's what I have pulled up here on my laptop, honey.
Yes.
So, it's 2 thick slices of white bread.
White bread. Oh.
It has ham in it.
Already racial, yes.
It has cheese, typically Gruyere.
Okay.
Cheese. Salt and pepper. And then you kind of dip it in whipped eggs like a French toast.
Oh,
you dip it.
Okay.
And then you bake it like that.
You bake it or you throw it on
you throw it in a pan. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So like French toast, you put the ham and cheese with white thick bread, dip it in like a battered egg.
Yeah.
And you put it in a pan.
Yeah.
And then you serve it either with, sometimes you could throw like bechamel sauce. Is that how you bechamel?
Bechamel.
You can put like that sauce.
I only know that from Arby's commercials, honey.
Or you can put like maple syrup on it, or you can put like jam on it, like raspberry jam.
Okay.
So it's really good because it has the salty component with the sweet component of either a syrup or a jam.
Yeah.
This is the best sandwich in the world.
You've had this at the Tower Cafe.
I've had this at Tower Cafe where it's called a Madame Cristo.
Where you used to go with Alan Fisher, your dad.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
It's called a Madame Cristo.
Okay.
$20, by the way.
Oh, dear.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is something that not everyone in their life has experienced.
Yeah.
But it's available here in our little town of Sacramento, California.
Okay.
So I feel like it's available. It's unique.
Yeah.
This isn't a sandwich that you find everywhere.
Yeah.
It's so delicious.
Yeah.
It's got everything that I want in my life. It's got sweet, it's got salty, it's got cheese, it's got meat, it's got jam, it's got syrup.
When's the last time you had it?
Like 4 years ago.
Okay.
But I've been missing it for these last 4 years, honey.
Let's go.
So,
LFG.
listen.
Yeah.
this is something that is available, that is unique, that
Yes.
everyone should experience in their life.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay, so if we were to go to Tower Cafe tomorrow, as a Canadian pronounces it, would you get... Because they're famous for their French toast.
Yeah, their French toast is very famous to them because it's like stuffed with cream.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Would
it's
you get
really
the
good.
French toast or would you get this Cristo?
Well, it depends on my mood.
Ah.
How am I feeling that day?
Ah.
But I just feel like it's a world famous sandwich. I feel
Yeah.
like it's French in origin,
Yeah.
but this is something available worldwide.
Yeah.
We're lucky enough to have it at a local Sacramento restaurant.
LFG.
Okay?
Let's
and everyone
go.
should have it because it's super special and
Yeah.
delicious and different.
We're super close to Tower Cafe,
We
but
are.
the wait there, the queue, it can get it can be well you question, like, is food worth a 45-minute wait? I think we should go, and you order the French toast, I'll order the Cristo,
The Madame Cristo.
Madame Cristo, and we'll sample each other's plates.
Okay, I like that idea.
Okay. And one of our listeners, honey, Kevin Jurin, he keeps telling me to go to, he wants our review of Tower Cafe.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Tower Cafe. I've been like only maybe 6 times in my life,
I've been twice.
despite growing up here in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since I've been, maybe 4 years.
Same.
I would love to go again.
LFG. Let's freaking go. My number 1, or number 5, no one's keeping track. No one's keeping count. It doesn't matter. Is a new entry to my life. A few months ago, you got the inclination to make meatloaf. And you sought out your mom, Liz Fisher's advice. And she gave you general directions. But then you went on the internet and you found a recipe and you did your thing. But the meatloaf you made, which was half sausage, half ground beef, correct?
Yeah, it was like a hybrid of what I found online and a
Yeah.
hybrid of my mom's traditional thing,
Yeah. And
recipe.
it was half sausage and you cook, like, you go above and beyond cooking wise often, and it usually involves bread, butter, cheese, garlic, and it's fantastic. But the meatloaf was something different, and when we dined on it, when we ate it, it was so flippin' good, and it was out of sight. And then there was so much grease from the sausage or
Yeah.
whatever.
It must have been the fattiness from the sausage and
Yeah.
the meat.
Like half of the meatloaf was caked in fat or submerged in fat, and that just made it all the better. But it was so good. And so my number 1 food, or number 5, to eat before you die on death row of all time ever in history, is your meatloaf.
Oh my god, that makes me feel so special.
Good. I'm glad, because it was out of sight, honey.
Yeah, like when I made it for you that weekend, I was like, my husband
Me?
is
That'd be
you,
me.
Vince. You have like completely re-fallen in love with me.
Absolutely.
I felt like I was a new woman and our love was anew. And like you were seeing me for the first time.
Wow. I wouldn't go that far, but it was something different, and it was just so like unexpected and just not life-changing. Okay, life-changing. Who gives a shit?
You know, they say like a way to a man's heart
Yes.
is his stomach.
Yes.
And
I'm a man.
we were just coasting for these past few years. But this like solidified our love.
Our torrid love
Okay.
affair got renewed or reinvigorated with this meatloaf. Yeah, but that meatloaf, and I've suggested that you go from 50% sausage to 75% sausage, or maybe 100% sausage, like Nanny Pat from The Only Way is Essex.
I still want to make a Nanny Pat
Sausage roll?
sausage roll, I think.
Something,
is
yeah.
her thing.
The Only Way is Essex is the best television show in history ever of all time to watch before you die on death row.
Should we do that list next?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, what list?
TV shows top 5 ever of all time.
Severance. The Only Way
Severance
is Essex.
and Toei.
And that's it.
That 70s show, The Office.
Wait.
Spoiler alert.
Well, you know what? Okay, spoiler. 70s show, The Office. I would have Married with Children and Seinfeld on mine.
Okay.
And then one more.
We both agree on Toei.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, what's your top 5? One more show?
What did I have? That 70s show, The Office, Severance, Toei. I'll say Seinfeld. Let's put Seinfeld number 1 for each of us. We'll agree.
Wait, no. You know what I put on there?
What?
The Ultimatum. Marry or Move On, hosted by Nick and Vanessa Lachey.
The Ultimatum on Hulu? Or
Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix, okay?
It was a fantastic show.
It was so good. It was so entertaining.
Alrighty. Well, is that the end of the program, honey?
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Excuse me. Sorry, Liz Fisher. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate. Or don't. Do whatever you want.
Get your burp out, honey.
You're a grown-up.
I'm
I'm trying to.
You have a vein in your forehead right now. Like,
Really?
you need to release the tension.
Well, I'll do that right after this. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your familia. Please be sure to use our promo code for Simply Safe. We don't have a promo code for Simply Safe. Goodbye, my podcast friends. I love you. My wife and I love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow morning?
Walmart. Grocery shopping.
But that's not until 11.
Boom boom.
Darling. You know, they talk about makeup boom boom, but what about post-COVID recovery boom boom?
Yeah.
What time does Tower Cafe open tomorrow?
I don't know.
Let's find out. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, we may have failed in our attempt to make shrimp spring rolls. We didn't fail, but we just didn't attain the levels that a 60-year-old Vietnamese woman.
They were edible,
Yeah.
but they were not pretty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Grandma Tian.
Sorry, we'll try harder. But I'm still a good person, and we're still good people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for caring. Our cat has jumped onto the dining room table, and he's sniffing our beer bottles. I hope you have a wonderful day/night. Bye-bye.